on about part-time employee that we had said was not to get paid holiday time,
Okay, sorry. I know you're talking about. She got two.
Okay,
and they paid her for Christmas again.
why did they pay her again?
I haven't asked that question because I was too upset to ask it.
So why don't we just take the money back? Because we already told them.
Can't
You
take
can't take the money back, but
But the point of this is, I thought we were very clear as that we were not paying part-time employees less than 20 hours vacation, or holiday
Well, who
pay.
did that?
Stan, am I correct in my assumption we did that?
yes.
Yeah.
But who paid her?
My question is, has that been relayed effectively to that department head?
Your memo says that we sent out the attorney's letter to everybody.
Payroll in
Yeah, I
here?
gave you the date when it was sent, it was December 5th.
Is New Year's in this?
No, not yet. We're on a bi-weekly payroll.
So at New Year's, they shouldn't be paid.
They shouldn't have been paid Christmas if
I
my
know they should not have been paid Christmas, and we can't ask them to pay the money back that they were inappropriately paid for that holiday.
But what, does the board wish to send
Who
some?
signs off on these? Is there department head signing off on this?
Yes, the employee completed the timesheet, the employee wrote it in, the department head signed off, it then
And the
goes to
department
the-
head being Rich and
And,
Lisa?
I think it was Ron Lauren that signed that one. And then it goes up to the accounting office, who then reviews it, then it goes down to the treasurer's office, who then reviews it, and then it goes in front of the select board.
So my only question is, are we effectively communicating that
Yes.
that's what we've decided?
So where would I find it in here? I have to stand up, my back is really stiff.
Right here.
Does anybody have any comments of or do you want to move on and come back to that issue? But the warrant is here for that issue, right? The payroll is here. She's been paid already.
Been paid already.
She's been paid already. She's
So how do you
received.
prevent it from happening
So
again?
I think that we need to bring
Well-
in that department head and talk
That
with
would be
them.
my,
That's both department
I
heads.
think both
She's
departments.
got two.
And
Okay, so-
you need to have the town accountant
Town accountant.
and town treasurer here.
Right, so we need to have that conversation in person with them.
Can we just send a letter and tell them that this
No,
person's
because
not
a letter's
to be
not
paid?
working. If a letter is
No,
working.
no, no, we tell them that this person is not to be paid. Tell Vicky that.
We've already done that.
We tried that. We
Where's Vicky?
made it.
She's still here?
No, Vicky's not. All right, would you like this, we can't do this next week because of,
Right, I think that we need to schedule a meeting with all parties involved.
we
Can
need
we have a
to,
meeting, I mean, if it's,
This is gonna be on the next payroll. The New Year's is on the next payroll.
so we can't, we need to send a memo out again that part-time employees of less than 20 hours are not to be receive holiday pay. Direct the memo directly to the town accountant and to the town treasurer. Per, whatever you want to call it, per order of the Board of Selectmen, part-time employees.
In town council.
Let me see the memo before it goes out, Reggie.
But it's also by town council.
That's what I was going to add, town council. Are not to be paid, and then we're going to request their presence at a meeting on February something or other to meet, to discuss the issue.
They're actually, I'm sorry, Dave, they're scheduled to be here on the 21st to talk about budget, so it's perfect.
Too late.
Do we
Oh,
dock
January
their
21st?
budgets?
Oh, all right, put it on that agenda.
Do we dock their budgets, the amount that they pay that individual?
I don't think you can dock their budgets.
there needs to be an understanding from us.
Right, it needs to
The
come from
department
us
heads,
to them
and it's
in
gotta be
person,
delegated
face to
down.
face.
And even so much, if policy and procedure is being excluded, they should be included to continue this conversation so everybody's on the same page.
So should we
If
invite
there's a
them?
difference, it can be echoed and we can resolve it once and for all.
Right,
Right,
so we need to invite them also,
yes.
Who is the other?
policy and
All
procedures.
right, for Policy and Procedures Board.
Now, a memo went out, you're saying, about this?
An email went out from town council that stated that employees under 20 hours were not entitled to benefits.
I'm just going from a finance committee point of view, we didn't see anything, so, I mean, should this,
I will
these things
I will
get?
show you that it was
It
sent.
should be.
Everybody
further?
received it.
What?
Everybody received it.
Us too? Finance committee?
Everybody.
When was it?
I will, December 5th. I'll print it out for you if you need me to.
Okay.
All right, coming back to the warrants. I got P1427A. Which one that is?
Do you want me to do it, Mike?
Yeah, you got a
Can I
bunch
just
of
make a motion for the ones we all can sign?
I don't have it.
Can I make a motion for,
Just hold tight.
I want can't hear. If you do them
I
all
know,
at once, we can do it together.
I like to do it as they're in orders, right here, so that we don't forget
She
it.
keeps them in order.
That's what I
But
like
if
to
the
do.
agenda is appropriately correct, it's right here.
Hang on, David.
We have bill warrant 14-28 in the amount of $50,344.81. Ed can't sign it.
Do I have a motion to sign?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ed abstains.
Ed abstains.
Are they both in this folder, both bill warrants, Reggie? Or is just one in here?
No, there's, should be separate.
Okay.
It's all done?
Yep, go ahead and sign it. Then we have payroll warrant 14-27A
$454.
in the amount of $454. Everybody can sign it.
Do I have a motion to sign? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Sign that one and give it right back. Then we have payroll deduction warrant 14-27A in the amount of $87.79. Everybody can sign it.
Can't sign.
This one's done.
Where did this come
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
from? Teamwork.
I can sign one, yeah.
That's
These
you.
are all to be signed.
Tell me what I can't sign.
Yep. Give that all back to me. This, and that one that Ed has goes in that.
This goes in there. This goes in here.
Then we have warrant bill warrant 14-26 in the amount of $116,790.72. Ed can't sign it.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Liz, you gotta be careful. 27-1, you can't read.
I don't have any more.
Did you say?
You don't have any more?
Oh, they're, one of the warrants is mixed in all of them.
Yeah,
They're not separated.
27 dash
Did you already?
3, can't sign. For $748.
Right here.
Yeah, you don't have that one?
And it says in pencil, who can and cannot.
All right, send them down, we'll start down.
Is that the one?
This is payroll 14-27 in the amount of $69,435.13. Everybody can sign it.
So moved.
Second, someone?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Is that one?
We're getting there. Then we have payroll warrant 14-27-1 in the amount of $140,131.53.
Can't read it.
I can't read it, sorry.
Payroll warrants. 427-1, 140, 131.3
Do I have a motion to sign?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I abstain.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Liz abstains.
And we have payroll 14-27-2 in the amount of $26,445.60.
This is part of a bigger
Ed
package.
can't sign it.
So
I think
moved.
that comes down to it. Somebody's moved that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, Ed abstains.
Ed, it says you don't sign it on the bottom.
Okay. And both of these?
No, this was no Liz, this is no Liz, thank you. You can sign that one.
Is that it?
Where's the one for, where's 14-27-3?
It's for $748.
I wrote my name.
Dash.
Yikes.
Point 3? Point 1 3?
The other one for $748.
I'm missing this one.
One coming
So
in.
I have to abstain from that one.
Glad when you guys leave that don't work here anymore. I'll be glad when you guys don't work here
We
anymore.
got a long way to
It
go.
used to be so simple, we would have 3 warrants a night and not,
No Jackie.
not this 7 or 8.
We have payroll 14-27-3 in the amount of $748.80. Jackie can't sign it.
So moved.
Abstain.
Is there a second? Ed, say yes.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Jackie abstains.
Abstain.
All right, then there's payroll deduction warrant 14-27 in the amount of 40, I'm just looking for, $40,929.60.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Everybody can sign that.
Yep. And payroll deduction warrant 14-25A in the amount of $146,204.39. Everybody can sign it.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye, sorry.
Sorry. I was busy signing.
I think I know who the next chair is going to be.
While you guys are signing, there were some that were not signed a couple meetings back. One, Ed cannot sign, and Liz cannot sign.
Uh-oh.
But we must have voted.
Yeah, you did. You voted.
All right, so these just, so
I
Liz,
need 3 signatures.
so Liz signed this one, so I'm assuming, so that means Ed can't sign that one. So I'll need Jackie or, and then Ed signed this one, and so there's just need one more signature. All right.
Can you sign it?
I'll print it out.
Sign it? No, you already signed it. Does he have to sign it?
He can sign both.
Yeah.
We have, PCFs, I don't see the PCFs here.
And John, do you have PCFs from Finance Committee?
I didn't see any.
The PCFs?
They went to Vicky.
The select board didn't sign them. The PCFs, not the reserve, the request.
All right.
So we don't have any PCFs.
Next meeting.
Next meeting again. We have,
They were all approved.
let's see where,
Still need a third name on this one.
Is that,
any,
That's
you.
not-
I got, chapter 61,
right? No.
change in classification land, this is the Pease property. Our comment would, did we hear from conservation?
Yes, they voted to refuse the rights.
First, they have no desire to execute right of first refusal. We have a request to take property out of 61, pay the back taxes, and, which means probably some farmland is going. This is land on, is it Moose Brook? Yes, Moose Brook Road. Does the board have any, last time this was Moose
It
Brook.
was on the market for a while, 13 acres.
Is that the one past Cheryl Lane, going up the mountain?
I couldn't figure where it was,
Yeah, I
but it's
think
been,
it
it's
is.
been on the market a while.
Yeah, it's all woodland. It's just before Fryer's property, the Frere's property.
Recouping $6,167 in taxes if we do not exercise our right of,
I'm not interested in it.
somebody take a motion that we have no interest in exercising our right of first refusal.
So moved.
Or second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I guess I might as well start down that end.
They're under whose door?
The end of the door? Can you have access to them? I'll give you a key.
Oh, sure.
You all have a report from the highway superintendent.
Oh, right.
screening.
Let's talk about that.
Huh?
Want to talk about that?
Yeah, I assumed we were gonna take that home and read it. Is that what, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I missing anything after that? That was, she gave me that, that's, UML's lawsuit. That goes back.
Oh, yeah.
I like this pen, it's a good pen.
Oh, so you have the highway superintendent screening committee report in front of you, and the three resumes for the finalists, and we will interview them next Wednesday. They've all been notified. They're all happy to come in and talk with us. I think we have some great people.
Nice. I only scanned the resumes tonight, and they look really good.
Yeah, no, we're excited.
Just to make special note, next week we're meeting at 6 o'clock as
Right.
opposed to 6:30.
6 o'clock, so that we have 15 minutes with the screening committee first before we start interviews at 6:15.
Mike, I'm sorry to just go back to this. There's a couple things here. There's another signature page And
What are you on, David?
Excuse me?
What are you on?
The 61A.
Oh,
And then there is, and I thought this was in here, is that it has to be notarized with that name?
No.
our signature has to be notarized?
Yeah, so there's something in here, another signature page. Notary public, my petition.
Thanks, Jim.
Expires. It gets a little more complicated. There's like 2 other signature pages, including this one. Is Eileen still here?
No, it does not. All you guys have to do is sign that top sheet that is in the signature packet is the only item that you need to sign. The documents that you have in front of you were provided from the attorney.
Those are from the, oh, okay, let me take a
In
look.
witness or wherefore that we undersigned Board of Selectmen of the Town of Southampton hereby set our hands and seal on this day, is a signature page. Okay.
We've never done that before.
Let me take a look at that. All right, I have the PCFs here, we'll come back to this. I got PCF for Daniel Hurley. Change in salary. You need to take back $3 per hour daytime incentive and adjust their pay to offset loss and be proportional to their experience.
Huh.
So he's adjusting the pay.
What department? I can't see.
Fire.
Oh, fire. I don't see it here.
It's down below where he signed, we had to look for it too. Says fire right next to his signature.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, it was
Kind of hard to find.
We almost sent it back to him, we said, well, let's see if we can figure them out.
All right, do I have, so that's that one. So is that what all these are?
All 4 of them.
All right, so that they're all the same thing?
Deduction and stipend?
Deduction.
Deduction.
So we've got Christopher Hurley, Whitney, Alan Torrey, Richard, or, I assume they got that wrong then, Richard Fazoli, put the names backwards, and Wayne Thero.
They're all complete, everything's signed off. It's in the right order.
Signed off by the mayor.
Why are they reducing their hours?
Because what they had, they were getting a $3 stipend to come in. We paid with the Policy Procedures Board
Right.
recently, and this was part of the decision to take that $3 stipend that was started about 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
For coming in during daytime hours.
Right.
Oh.
Okay.
I make a motion to sign the PCFs for Richard Fasoli, Daniel Hurley, Wayne Thoreau, and Alan Torrey.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those are the only ones that you guys have? The other names are on the agenda where the word requested from the personnel board, so I'm not sure.
We don't know where those PCFs are?
Robin told me to put it on, I put it on. I don't know.
You don't have?
Did you
them?
have PCFs from when you guys, from the 17th?
We got
And
a
then
police one.
Finance Committee didn't meet, right?
That one back, she's working on it.
I wonder if that's where they are.
Members were there, Linda and Francine.
I mean, let me, we have a meeting tomorrow night, so I'll check and see
I'll
where
just carry
she
it over to the next
thinks
meeting.
they might be, and then I can,
Missing some?
yeah, there's a few names that we're missing, so I'll see if we can figure out where they
All
are.
right, okay, so we're coming back to this.
I'm just curious, is there a second set of PCFs for Wayne Theroux,
That's what,
Alan Torrey, and Zachary?
no, we're, oh.
Because they're down here a second time.
Right.
I don't know. I don't make it up.
Well, let me check and see where we're at tomorrow night, and Robin will probably have a better idea.
What if the one's a police officer?
In my pocketbook.
What are we doing with that?
Can I bring it up?
What is the problem with that?
It's not filled out. I talked to the
Even though
police
they
chief
have-
today.
Even though they have the date and everything, that's not,
The date is not, the date he wrote on there is not,
why, who said it?
he did.
That's not right?
I think they want these other ones signed, Rich.
You think so?
Why don't we make a motion to have, either somebody's gonna be around here tomorrow, sign it,
They want it.
the full board?
Oh, they got more than one line, I would say that's what we should do, I think you're right, and then if that's not happening.
It came here like this, condition on passing the exam. It went to the PPB, and I had a conversation with the chief and Lieutenant Wade. Then it came back with this date on there, and after I talked to the chief today, he said it's a bogus date.
Who said that?
The chief?
All right,
That's,
what we need is a motion,
I had a whole conversation with him today about it.
What we need is, on that Pease property, we need to have a motion so that one of us can come in tomorrow. Who's going to be around you?
I'll be around.
And have Eileen notarize signature and act for the board. I mean, I don't even know where I am tomorrow.
What time do you come in the building?
Probably around 2:30-ish.
2:30? I don't know, Eileen's only part-time right now.
Ruth is there. No, she's
Want to come in?
Well, you're going to do a motion that either you or her,
Okay, or both?
both you, Ed Colley and/or Liz Moulton, come in and sign for the balance of the documents for the Pease property so they can be notarized.
In front of Eileen.
By the way, Eileen, is that, someone want to make that motion?
I make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The other part, you need to sign that one. And then I'm going to put that part on top, Reg.
Okay.
I think it's something extra. He wants it
Different order.
different way. And I think we cut you off on
She's not gonna be here
highway
tomorrow.
screening.
No,
Did we get that?
No, I think we covered it. You have all the information you need to do, read it, and
Okay.
move forward.
The other thing we haven't done, and then we'll come back to Ms. Simmons, is that we've had minutes on our agenda, and we have not gotten to them in weeks.
Oh, I thought you guys approved them. You did not approve them on the 17th?
That I remember. No,
Okay.
We approved a bunch of meetings not too long ago, I thought.
Did we?
Yeah, a while ago, but
And
not.
maybe I was carrying them over. Maybe I was thinking that we hadn't.
No, we
done-
did.
We
There
did.
were minutes on your 17th, however, I took the packet off, so, which means it's not there unless you guys saved it to somewhere else on your iPad.
Okay. So, all right, but they say we did it, so.
Hmm.
I thought we had skipped it so many times, I thought we kept skipping.
Well, it was on your agenda for the 17th. There were 2 sets of minutes there. So, but Liz is saying you guys did not vote
I don't
on the
remember.
17th.
And you better put them back on the 17th. Put
Okay.
them back on.
Sorry.
My apologies. We were behind for so long, I was losing track of it. Ladies, you've been here, and I didn't mean to keep you sitting there. Did you have anything you wanted to?
Yeah, I did have something that I wanted to.
Well, then we'll call this our open time for the public, and you're it.
Okay, I'm Gail Santoro, I live on Pleasant Street in Southampton, and I don't know, I guess you guys were very kind in making an attempt to appoint me to the Concom as an associate member. I've been led to believe now that that is not within your authority, but at the Concom last night, they did vote me on as an associate member. Also, Courtney Half, who was told that he was also recommended by the Board of Selectmen, but that's really not what I've come to talk to you about. Is at this meeting, when I've come in front of you guys, even if we've been disagreeing on different things, and even with the planning board, there's a way that people handle themselves in this town, and the way I listen to you and you listen to me. What I observe in that Concom, and I'm coming to you guys because you appoint these members, is a chairman who is bullying, pushing an agenda, trying to railroad other people. There's a lot of internal discourse. When someone dares to raise a question, they are shouted down and interrupted. Twice I was recognized by the chairman and asked to speak. I was interrupted. I was subjected to the old-fashioned eye-rolling and really dismissive behavior. And, you know, as a citizen of Southampton, I don't think anyone on a commission should ever comport themselves that way. Even at the time, I don't think I was even saying anything objectionable. But even if someone's saying something objectionable, clearly all of you seem to manage that quite well here. You don't always agree. But I would just suggest that a conversation be held with that chair and ask for reasonable behavior in meetings with the other commissioners and with other people in the room. I, for example, want to get volunteers involved, maybe in helping with the trails. If I bring my friends into a meeting and they see that kind of behavior, those people are supposed to be acting on behalf of the citizens of Southampton, not someone pushing an agenda that they have and trying to railroad people, representing that, oh, we've already agreed on this. I mean, I saw written documents saying we had agreed to do something related to something, and then I heard commissioners saying, well, when was that vote? So there needs to be an understanding, and my understanding is a chairman is just someone who, they're not like the president. They don't have a final say. They're equal status with the other commissioners. And you're just not going to get community citizens getting their time to be disrespected and treated brutally in a meeting for no reason other than the person might not like what I'm saying, or I'm not saying yes. That's really the thing. I'm not nodding my head and saying yes. I listened to the only woman on that board be bullied into agreeing to at least take a look at writing the annual report, even though I reported 12 times she said no. You know, you can't bully people like that in volunteer positions. And I mean, if that means that the Southampton group says, well, we're not interested in you volunteering, Ms. Santoro, that's okay with me. I just thought I had to bring it forward. Because sooner or later, that kind of behavior will come back to bite this town. And I think it needs to be stopped. It's very disruptive. You can't possibly conduct the important business of a Concom with a short fuse and a bullying, railroading attitude. And I'm sorry, that's all I have to say about it.
Anybody want to comment?
When does the Concom meet?
Last night.
How often?
How often? Once or twice a month.
When's the next meeting?
The next meeting, I believe, is it moved around the 21st. I know this one on the 28th for sure.
All I can say is that, you know, I've been on the select board since 2004. I took a year off. And, you know, the Concom it's an interesting little committee. And it wields a lot of power. And
it's a lot of work, too. I appreciate it.
So it's a lot of work, and at times there have been individuals on that as chair who had agendas that were, I don't want to even go into the details, and it caused a lot of pain and suffering in the town because they were trying to block development and whatnot. And it made things very difficult for developers, landowners who were trying to follow the law and whatnot. So as hard as it may seem, it's a very functional board at this time compared to how it was 5 years ago. And I have not heard any of this before.
People are afraid on that board to speak up.
But I do know that it's a different board, that we don't have the reputation of the board we had from outside our communities. I mean, it was a very dysfunctional board for a period of time where people were, and there's a term called suburban terrorists, because they were elected to a position and they made it miserable for people. I don't think Mike will speak up, but he was on the board.
I wasn't on conservation.
Not conservation, but you were on the select board, and some of the issues that we had with that commission. I have found, for the most part, except for the two individuals that were prior chairs, that most people are very receptive to having some insight on their behavior in a non-threatening way. Because I think in their hearts, we all want the right thing for the town. And I don't know if you're speaking about the current chair.
I actually tried to talk to him after the meeting. His response was to bustle away. He was shaking. He was so visibly angry. He bustled away, turned his back to me, and walked away.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that. And I'd have to talk. And what I do is, when I'm on select board, is I will go talk to somebody. So I ended up being a dog catcher, picking up a dog one time. Is go talk to the individual and ask them what's going on. And it may be something else that has nothing to do with anything. Maybe something at home, maybe some other issue, maybe some other conflict that's not
an issue that I'm thinking about. It's just the general.
There may be something else going on, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not someone who folds at the least little conflict in a meeting. In fact, corporate America, it happens all the time, you know.
No, I get that, but I'm trying to say is, before blowing up the whole board and bringing out the rope and tie it to a tree, let's sort of sit down and maybe, one or two of us can go to the meeting and talk to them on the side.
Yeah, or record the meeting so that people maybe are more careful in how they address people, because it's just not acceptable behavior. It just isn't, not by anybody's standard, irrespective of what the issues are.
Gail, are they recorded now or just hand transcribed?
No, they're just handwritten by the old woman in the room. She takes the minutes.
Weren't we applying for more money for?
We have a survey out on the website. We're trying to get, it's up to the board members to do it, of course. Sign on with East Hampton Access. We can have more board and committee meetings recorded,
video,
televised. That would work.
That'd be a good one. I mean, I don't want anybody thrown to a tree. Listen, there's a lot of work that gets done by the Concom.
Oh, it's a tremendous amount.
It's a daily job, particularly for that chair, I think, for any chair. So, but it's just
in his tenure in that position, he has brought that board back around from what I described before. It's actually how many acres? 200 acres?
Oh, I don't know.
Still, merits aside, I mean, there's a way to behave and talk to
I think we should
residents.
note, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss in.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's just really hard to bring this to you guys. I debated whether to do it, whether to just resign from the commission and go away, but that doesn't help anybody else who wants to become involved in the commission if they're going to be subjected. And I suggest you talk to some of the commissioners themselves, because I think one-on-one they might tell you something.
Like, I'd like to say something.
Go ahead.
Let's say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I recommend writing it down and writing a letter to us, just kind of reiterating what you just said, so we documented that this happened, rather than,
Well,
your
it's
sense.
documented already.
Right, but I'm just saying, a personal letter from a citizen, I think, is more effective than just having something on
I'm
tape.
not saying not to, but it is documented.
Right.
Well, sometimes the contents of letters don't get shared, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew.
Well, if it comes here, it's a public document. Just like,
I think Jackie's got a good idea, but although it is public tonight as of right now, I think Jackie's got a good idea, and then we can address it through that letter to the appropriate board.
Because I'm sure you have some, I don't know if you have written standards, but you all comport yourself with decorum, even when you're clearly not agreeing with each other.
You weren't here when he's got a cop at the door.
Oh.
I'm not kidding.
That was to keep David out.
yeah.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you, Winston, for your time.
Because I want to ask questions, I don't know, who's the chair of that commission?
Charlie
Charlie
McDonald.
McDonald.
Who is it?
Charlie McDonald.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Thank you for your comments, and if you could send us a letter, I'd appreciate it.
I lost sleep over this because it's an unpleasant thing to do, but
It is
like I
hard.
said, I could have just gone away and you would have wondered, well, what happened to her? She was interested.
There's some other things, like if you talk to Dick Frary, is it the hysterical or historical?
Yeah, but I think her interests are in
Conservation.
My dealings with her,
Yeah.
she's very compassionate about,
Yeah.
land and what's around her.
Land and development, good sensible development as per the plan you have for Southampton. It's pretty good.
Have you talked to Hank Barton?
Why don't we, and I don't mean to cut you off,
He's in the master planning commission.
master plan, but why don't we now have to tackle the final.
The final part. Well, thanks for your time. I
Thank
really
you.
love it.
Thank you.
You guys are really so gracious for your time. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy New Year.
Turn the camera.
They're cutting down the trees.
I
thought
know,
that
I'm
you
gonna
were
go
coming
home
in
and
before I
have
was
a toast to the 48-inch oak that's going.
I'll see you tomorrow morning anyway.
Yeah, because we need a bigger barrier around those two trees that, they got a 5.
Oh, they're so sweet. We'll have coffee.
What time's it?
I know.
I made cookies when they put the addition on my house. Like, that's
Yeah.
so nice.
Red oak can be available on our street.
Might need to get along.
I might need coffee.
You know where we live.
I do.
The rest of us get nothing.
That's not true.
Yes, you brought 10.
I brought you
My wife will attest to the fact that I was sneaking those cookies for a week. She didn't know that I'd opened the can and started eating them. Although she does now.
Good night. Thank you very much, y'all.
Drive safe.
Simmons, come on back up.
You trusted us with your pocketbook.
I know.
To balance the budget. Just to be clear, we are in negotiations on the contract. We were in executive session. We made you an offer. You wanted some time to consider it. We came out of executive session, and we're going to finish up the discussion in open session. Is that okay with you?
That's fine, as long as you're okay with me coming back
You're on TV, so
with some items. So
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, so I appreciate that you've considered what I sent in, and I appreciate that you come up in the salary, and I'm okay with that. What I would be asking you for is 4 additional sick days to what you had originally offered, or tonight's offer. And then in regards to the second year of the contract, if you would add 5 additional vacation days for that second year, and instead of tying it to a 2.5%, which is essentially COLA, that you let me show you what I can do in the first year, and then you would, assuming that the performance evaluation is satisfactory, you would compensate for the top of the hiring range, which would be 62.
How many extra days, sick days are we talking about?
4.
4 in the first year and 5 extra vacation days in the second year. Anybody?
I guess I can speak and say I'm comfortable giving the 4 extra sick days, and I'm not comfortable with the extra week. I think we're pretty much at the top of the number of days that we're able to give. And so I guess that's where I stand with that. I'm not comfortable with the extra.
What was the original breakdown on time, Liz?
20 vacation days, 3 personal days, and 6 sick days. So the extra 4 sick days would put us at 20 vacation days, 3 personal days, and 10 sick days. If you add an extra week.
So our offer equals the fire chief's offer.
Yes.
This would now be 4 days in excess of the fire chief.
Yes.
Lynn, would you be agreeable to that 4-day sick day and negotiating the extra week going into the second year based on performance evaluation?
That's what she asked for.
Right.
Just a question.
They would just give you the option of saying no the second year if the performance evaluation wasn't on par.
So you're saying the 5 vacation days and the 62 would be based on performance? Does that seem
Initially, I wasn't. That's what Ed was saying.
I'm just throwing out an
Right.
option.
No,
That's all.
I'm just thinking about it because I wouldn't. Yeah, I think that would be fine.
Okay.
Assuming I wasn't doing a good job, I wouldn't be looking to take extra week off. So yeah, I think that would be okay.
Okay.
I mean, if that gets you over the
Over the hurdle.
hesitation.
Yeah, we just need to be able to sort of justify it.
Do you digest that?
I'm digesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm digesting.
I'm a little lost where we are. So what do we do?
So from my understanding is that the first year would be 59 and 20 vacation, 3 personal, and 6 sick days. The second year would be the same, and then there'd be
No,
based
that's not
on.
right.
That's not right.
But hang on, let me finish.
But you're wrong already.
Well, let me finish. It would be the same, but an additional 5 vacation days and a raise would be based upon performance.
The part you're missing is that the initial contract would be 20 vacation days, 3 personal days, and 10 sick days.
And sick days.
And
How about
then
6 days? How do we?
she
was our
wants the
offer.
4
Well, yeah.
additional.
Yeah, she had 4
That's-
additional.
That was our offer.
All right, how about 8? Split the difference.
I don't know whether that can be official policy, David, until we take a vote amongst ourselves.
I'm just throwing it out there.
So on the table, she is looking for 16 sick days?
10,
10 sick days.
And 20 vacation.
20 vacations, so 33 days of time off out of work.
And next year, based on a performance evaluation,
38 days.
based on performance evaluation, 38 days. And that would be that would be 5 additional, or in your case, yeah, 5 additional vacation days. And salary will be negotiated.
With a satisfactory performance, I would want to be brought to the top of the hiring range.
Let's take a vote on it.
We'll have to set some benchmarks as well. I mean, we would have to make sure we sort of put down clearly what our expectations are. You understand that? I mean, it's just, yeah.
I mean, I understand that why you're not willing to bring someone in that doesn't have town administrator experience, But after a year of town administrator experience and showing you
I agree with you.
what I can do, I would hope that you
I agree with you. I agree with that.
But guys, I just gotta remind you that we don't have an unlimited pocket of money, and that you can promise the world, but at the most we can increase our budget is 2.5% on a good year.
Right, and so I guess my.
Well, with that being said, Mike, the high offer was $62,000 if the right candidate walked through the door.
If the
She's
right
saying
candidate.
the second year, if she's the right candidate, she'd like to be at $62,000 a year. That's what I guess.
Well, and that's a fair way of looking at it, but it's just, it's the old story that once we start raising more than 2.5% any given item, we have to take it from somewhere.
Well, I think we need to solidify this position, and I don't think we're that far off from what we started off with to where what she's asking. And in the interest of moving forward and establishing this position permanently, I'm in favor of making this recommendation. That
2310,
what's that?
2310, 59 first year.
And the second year, based on the evaluation, bring her up to the higher level, and additional week's vacation.
You're not promising that as an automatic.
I'm putting that out for a vote.
No, but I'm
Well,
saying,
it's based on evaluation.
The extra week and the $3,000 is contingent on a satisfactory performance.
I just have,
Can I just add into that, though, you know, within that first year, the board needs to come up with some benchmarks that need to be achieved, so that we're not going into that second year and saying, you know, it's satisfactory to 2 or 3 of us and not the other 2. There needs to be some concrete benchmarks and objectives that have been met in order for that to happen.
definitely, on my end as well. I'd like
And
to
so
know
could we
goals.
put, you know, we need a goal list put together within a certain amount of time in order for that to all go forward. So within the 6 months, we've come up with a list together of the things that we would like to see done.
There's an election in May, and the board's
Gonna change.
composition will change. So it seems to be, as soon as the election is over, that you would sit down with the new select persons and the whole board, and sit down with you and sort of make up a sort of plan of what your expectations are.
Well, she's still going to be here for four months before that. I think, you know, we can start establishing.
You
Exactly.
can, but I
yes.
think you need to incorporate the new select persons as well.
can I just, and I'm just, excuse me, Ms. Simmons, but we just finished negotiating a fire chief contract with 29 days of time. We're about to negotiate a highway superintendent's contract with unknown number of days off. I think you've got to remember that this, to a certain extent, is going to set a benchmark for the next contract negotiation and everyone after that. I would be reluctant to extend beyond the 29 days that we've offered the fire department, and probably would offer to the highway department, then pending their qualifications. Now, would be my 2 cents on it.
Are you open to leaving the 29 days and an increase in the salary in the first year? So that we're not setting that precedent of all of these days going forward in new positions. So if we stayed at the 20 vacation days, 3 personal days, and 6 sick days with a $60,000 salary, and then the following year, based on the performance evaluation, bringing you up to the high end of the hiring scale.
So essentially, $1,000 to eliminate those 4 days.
Basically.
Mike, take your glasses. One of your hair things is going like this.
These negotiations.
Yes,
Can I ask a question?
sure.
Only because it's the rock and a hard place on that week. If she does a great job, you give her the week. If she doesn't do a great job, she doesn't get it, so nobody's gonna be happy. Would you mind changing the wording, both of you, to up to an extra week? Because it says if you may want to negotiate in between 0 and 5, rather than rock and hard place, you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Compromising.
And you have no interest in going to flex time?
No.
Just out of curiosity, isn't it so much easier to, it's little hash marks on the wall instead of notes from doctors or excuses, or I saw her in Big Y and she obviously wasn't sick and she took a sick day. When other people in town see you, wouldn't it be better to be on flex time and just a simple hash mark on the wall? I took this off as part of my flex time. I guess I'm just looking at the simplistic approach of saying we don't have to worry then it doesn't become my concern or whoever's successor is concerned as to why you're not here. It's just flex time. I'm out today. You know, I'm just curious as to why that's become such an issue.
I honestly haven't seen another city or town use or call flex time. It's
Quite
not, and I'm not saying that's why I'm opposed to it.
quite prevalent in private.
Right, exactly, yeah.
The simplicity.
My experience with it has been people will save and save and save those days and then take an entire month off because they're gonna lose them. So I actually see it being counterproductive.
But how does that change from vacation and sick time and that sort of thing? You save your vacation, you save your sick
Because you
time?
save it because you think you might get sick, and then you don't, and then you take a whole month off because you didn't get sick.
As opposed to not using
so-
the sick time.
Yeah, but she's just accustomed to this, and it's
Right.
just, I understand what she's saying.
But if you're saying it's the same amount of days that I'm putting out there and we're agreeing on, and you feel comfortable calling it flex, that's fine.
I mean, I feel
Nobody wants to
comfortable.
call and say, you know, I need a doctor's note that says you're sick. You just call, you know, you tell us, I'm out today, there's no questions asked, there doesn't need to be any justification. We trust you. You know, you're running the town, basically, you're answering the phones, and we trust that you're doing your job appropriately. We don't need to know why you're out.
Oh, no, that to me is never, would have honestly didn't cross my mind.
Right?
It's never, it's not something I've ever done. So.
But I mean, that gives you, if you need 7 sick days, then you've got 7 sick days. And if you need 25 vacation days, you've got 25 vacation days.
Just personal days, or, you know, whatever the case may be,
As
just
long
take
as
the
the
time.
pool of days is large enough, then I don't necessarily care what you call it.
In my book, the pool was large enough at 29 days. And that's where that's where I come
I
down.
feel like if we offer $60,000 with the 29 days, and based on the performance a satisfactory performance evaluation, meeting certain benchmarks, then 62 the second year.
You're writing the 60.
With up to an additional
5
5
flex days.
flex days.
And no town car.
You're writing that into the contract? You're guaranteeing her 62 and 5 more days?
Based on a performance evaluation that meets certain benchmarks within the first year.
Correct.
I'm sorry, so this was 60 and 29 days.
Yes.
Right. And 62 the second year, based on performance,
And benchmark, yes.
and up
Just to
to,
add the same comment on the salary, the rock and the hard place, you want to do up to 62,000, so if she had a semi-good year,
Yeah,
she'd
so
come back
she-
and say, give me a grand.
Yeah,
And if you don't want to put her at 0.
yeah. You don't want to guarantee, we're not guaranteeing, the contract is not guaranteeing 62,000.
no, based on performance.
Yeah, so if she does a great job, she gets it, if she does, and it, you know, it just gives you both, a little room on both sides, that's all.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you.
And up to a week's
Right.
That's why he's
vacation,
in
second
procurement.
year.
The second
So
year.
that's why you're in procurement.
Is that the motion?
Is that the consensus on what the contract would be? Because then what we need to do is reduce it to writing and present it.
Right.
I would suggest that we arrive at a consensus tonight, produce a hard copy contract to be reviewed.
Oh, wait, so we're all on the same page. $60,000 with 29 flex days. The second year, up to $62,000 with a satisfactory performance evaluation and up to 5 additional flex days.
How's that?
That's our offer of employment, subject to a review and finalizing a hard copy to be sent to you for
And
approval.
the cell phone stipend.
And the
Yes,
cell
right,
phone
$45.
site.
Well, that's expenses,
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, so
unless you want that in the
got it.
contract.
Right here.
Now you're going to tell us she didn't pass.
Did you want the cell phone?
By the way.
What?
The cell phone, does that need to be in the contract?
Yes,
I was gonna put it in there.
yes.
The what?
Cell phone.
Cell phone.
Yeah.
It's an expense item, it won't come out of the wage item.
Oh, you're gonna say,
No, but
like,
we have to agree, we should
Okay.
agree that we're going to pay that for her.
$45 a month stipend for the cell phone.
Right.
Yeah.
So Mike, you said finalize the copy, send it to Lynn?
Yeah, that's our, I guess that would be, a motion should be made that would be our offer, subject to a hard copy contract.
So
Okay,
moved.
let's make the motion and let's take the vote.
So moved.
We're in open session, so we can do it by, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
You opposed? Amen.
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 Are you accepting our offer, I guess?
It's a nice place. It's a nice, brand new town hall.
Wait a minute, David, let her think about it and give us an answer, because it's getting late in the hours.
Well, I'm gonna send you a contract. You're
Right.
gonna put it on the agenda again?
Yes, because it's got to be signed in open session.
So it gives you a little bit of time. Would that help, or?
But if there's a major stumbling block here, we have it
We're here
tonight.
now talking.
Right.
So
Like to
is
have
there
it
anything
tonight.
else that you hesitate with? Do you want to call your husband and talk to him? I thought that's what you
That was
called.
quite
Sorry.
clear. No.
No, and I'll tell you that my only hesitation is these days, because what I'm leaving behind for days is significantly more than this. And it's not because I use it, I've actually acquired that many because I don't use it, but you're leaving that cushion, and,
But if my understanding is correct, you're significantly increasing your salary.
right, which
You're giving and taking.
gets eaten up.
But there's
by paying
also,
someone else to watch your children.
there's also, you know, if you have some extended sickness, there is a guarantee that we have, which is supposed to be part of the contract, okay? Which I'm sure Northampton doesn't have, that 6 months.
75% of your pay.
And you're not paying for this, you know, we are.
No, that's a terrific benefit, and I'm really glad that you mentioned it. You should tout it a lot more.
And Reggie's wonderful to work with.
No, and I have no hesitations about any of that. I'm just telling you where I'm hung up.
Then do you need more time?
The other thing is, this is, and I get this, I mean, this is your first town administrator gig,
Mhm.
and it won't be your last. This will be your starting point, and you'll probably leave here within 3 years. And I get that, I know that's gonna happen.
David, stop.
I'm being honest, Michael, I'm being honest.
Stop.
okay? I'm being
Glenn, do you
honest.
need more time to think about this, or
No,
do
but
we
I
need to
just
talk
want to
about
say
it?
something. I want to say something. You do have to invest in a career change. And if you want to make this career change, you got to make the investment. If this is something you really want to do for the rest of your life, then do it. Here's an opportunity. It's right in front of you. It's right in front of you.
No, I agree.
You know?
I'll have it on the agenda.
Yeah, it's got to be on the agenda.
Right,
It's
so
right here.
either way, and
No, but I just, if there was a major stumbling block, we'll deal with it tonight. If it's not a major
Wrong
stumbling
parking
block, then
spot.
we'll deal with it next week.
Do you want your own parking?
All right. So, I'm just trying to get this, it's 9:30 by the
Sure,
clock on the
right.
wall, and trying to
Definitely.
get an end to this point. And so if you have a major stumbling block, we'll hear it now. If we
No,
don't,
it's-
then we'll come back in a week and sign a contract. Or maybe it's a week.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I want it done soon.
All right, so you'll be on the agenda a week from now, which puts us at about 9:30 from the length of the agenda, since I've been scheduling things like crazy, so I think it'll be about 9:30.
We're starting at 6.
We're starting at 6. And you better be here. I don't want to hear anything about a meeting.
I have a meeting 21st.
Next week's the 14th, you missed.
Okay.
Ooh,
Ooh, I hear a sigh.
it's my anniversary.
Glenn, any other-
I don't have to be here anyways, because we've already,
But we're
Right.
meeting the highway guys.
On Tuesday.
I'm in
Next
42.
Tuesday.
You might want, you can take this. I'll get it back from you,
Oh,
come back, okay?
Thanks. Actually, just a question. Are these iPads town?
Yes.
Yes.
We get one. There's one for you.
Hmm?
John has the town administrator's.
Well, I don't actually. This is mine. This is an upgraded one. I have one. that I'll
Well,
give
he
back
has
to
the
you.
one that
I have
will go to
yours.
you.
It's at
Yeah.
home. It's one of the, that style there.
Yeah. These are,
I'll wipe it and I'll bring it back to Reggie before.
it's, she's dragged us into the technology age.
Oh, that's great.
awesome.
Because instead of having piles of documents this big, they're,
Saved a lot of paper.
so we have an agreement, in principle at least? Okay, done. Anything else that needs to be talked about tonight?
If you want to communicate further, you know how to reach me.
Yep.
Okay.
I Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thank
Do we have
you.
anything else that I missed? No. All right.
Thanks, John.
Take a motion to adjourn. Now that you're hired, how are you feeling?
Great.
Now, you live in town, or right on the edge of town?
Edge, I'm exactly 5 miles from here.
Mike?
What?
Yeah, freeze.
Didn't I ask for one?
Tonight.
Yeah.
I must have got it. Did I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Your turn.
Thank you.